I live on a quiet ranch just outside the city. Life here has always been calm, simple, and private. Every day follows a peaceful routine, and that's exactly how I like it out here. Everything has its place, and nothing feels rushed. One morning, I noticed a vehicle passing through my property. It wasn't familiar, and it definitely wasn't expected at first. I thought maybe it was a one-time thing, so I decided to ignore it and move on with my day. I stood near the gate, watching the car disappear into the distance. Something about it didn't sit right with me. This wasn't a public road or shared space. It was private land that I've taken care of for years. The next day, I decided to speak with her calmly. She mentioned she lived nearby and used this as part of her route. From her perspective, it seemed normal, but from mine, it was something entirely different. She appeared confident in what she believed, like there was no doubt in her mind at all, but the situation didn't add up, and I knew it needed to be clarified properly, so I showed her the property lines clearly. Everything was marked, visible, and easy to understand. There was no confusion from my side at all. Just simple facts laid out in front of us. A few days later, I received a letter. It looked official and formal at first glance, but as I read it, it only created more questions. Didn't reflect the reality of the situation. I sat inside and read it carefully again. It talked about access and shared routes, but none of it matched what I knew to be true. That's when I realized I needed to handle this differently. Over time, small things started to feel different. The space didn't feel as private as it once did. Nothing major, just a shift in routine, but enough to make me think seriously. That morning, I stood outside and made a decision. Not out of frustration, but out of clarity. This wasn't about conflict anymore. It was about protecting my space the right way. I made a few calls to understand my options. I wanted everything to be fair and within the rules. Don't shortcuts, no mistakes, just a proper and respectful approach. After that, I spoke with someone experienced in land work. I explained everything step by step. They listened carefully and understood the situation. Then they suggested a simple, practical solution. We started by measuring the area properly. Every detail was checked and double-checked. Accuracy mattered more than speed here, because this needed to be done right. I watched as the ground was marked clearly. Lines that defined exactly what belonged where. For the first time in days, things felt organized again, like everything was finally under control. Soon, the materials started arriving. Everything was placed neatly and prepared in advance. There was no rush or chaos, just a steady, well-planned process. Work began quietly and smoothly. No noise, no stress, just consistent progress. Step by step, everything moved forward, exactly how I had hoped. The foundation was set first, strong, stable, and carefully placed. Every detail mattered during this stage because it would support everything else day by day. The structure started to take shape, nothing dramatic, with just steady improvement, a clear boundary slowly becoming visible, simple, but effective. I stood back and observed the progress, not with excitement, but with peace of mind. This wasn't about proving anything. It was about doing what was necessary when everything was finally completed. It looked right, clean, simple, and clearly placed. It didn't disturb the land at all. It just defined it. Later that day, she arrived again. But this time, things felt different. It slowed down as she approached the entrance, taking a moment to observe the change. Her vehicle came to a stop at a distance. No movement forward this time. Just a quiet pause in the moment, as if she was thinking things through. She stepped out and looked ahead. Calmly, no strong reactions, no sudden movements, just quiet observation of what was there, and maybe a moment of understanding. I watched from a distance without saying anything. There was no need to interrupt the moment, no need to explain anything further. Everything was already clear for once. There was no rush, no assumptions being made, just stillness and awareness. Something that definitely changed. The space now felt clearly defined. There was no confusion left anymore. Everything was exactly where it should be. And that made all the difference. After a moment, she turned back toward her car. No discussion took place this time. No disagreement or questions, just a quiet decision. Her vehicle slowly moved away from the entrance. No urgency, no hesitation. Just a smooth and calm departure. A very different ending from before. I stood there for a while. After that, not feeling like I had won anything. Just feeling settled and at ease, like things were finally back in place. The next morning felt peaceful again. The quiet I was used to had returned. Everything looked familiar and steady, exactly the way it should be. I walked across the land as part of my routine, checking everything like I always do. Nothing seemed out of place anymore, and that meant everything to me. The entrance remained calm and undisturbed. No unexpected changes or surprises, just a clear and quiet boundary, doing exactly what it was meant to do. A few days later, another letter arrived. This one felt different from the first. Simpler, lighter, and easier to understand. It didn't carry the same tension. I read it slowly and carefully. Was short and to the point, no confusion this time. Just a clear acknowledgement I folded the letter and set it aside. There was nothing more that needed to be said. No follow-up required. Everything was already resolved. The land felt peaceful again, like it could finally breathe. No tension or uncertainty remained. Just quiet stability. That evening, I sat and watched the sunset. Thinking about everything that had happened. It wasn't about winning or losing. It was about finding balance. The entrance stood still in the distance, simple, unchanged, and strong. But everything around it felt better now, more settled, more certain. That night was completely quiet, no interruptions at all, just the sound of the wind passing through, and a sense of calm all around. Days slowly turned into weeks. Nothing unusual happened anymore. Everything stayed steady and predictable. And that's exactly how I wanted it. The routine returned without effort. No adjustments were needed anymore. Things simply fell back into place, naturally and smoothly. Sometimes the best solutions are quiet, don't need attention or recognition. They just work in the background, and that's what makes them powerful. There were no more discussions needed, no long explanations or arguments. Just clarity and understanding, and that was enough. Clear boundaries changed everything, brought structure and peace. They removed uncertainty completely, and they made things last. The space remained respected over time, just as it was meant to be from the start. No pressure, no tension at all. Just calm consistency. Life continued moving forward steadily, simple, quiet, and balanced. Nothing complicated anymore, just the way I prefer it. That's all I ever wanted from the beginning. A quiet place to live, a clear space to call my own, and peace of mind. Sometimes the best response isn't loud, it isn't dramatic or emotional, it's thoughtful and well planned, and it lasts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell me, where are you watching from? Like and subscribe and tell me, where are you watching from?